Welcome back, dog moms and dog dads. If you're new here, my name is Andretta, and I talk all things dogs. Today, we're going to be tackling a topic that is very important to us pet owners and animal lovers. We're talking about animal welfare policies under the Trump administration and what that means for us as dog owners. In today's video, I'm going to be covering some key policies and explaining why they matter. And if you have a question about any of my sources, I have linked them all below in the description. That way you can dig in a little bit more to understand each topic. So let's dive in and see what's changed. First, we're going to start with the Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture Act, otherwise known as PACT. PACT. Now, this law was signed in 2019, and what it did is it made certain types of animal cruelty a federal offense. Previously, many animal cruelty cases were only handled at the state level. And while this was happening, it left a lot of gaps in protection. This all happened under Trump's administration when he was in office the first term. So now moving forward, any extreme cruelty cases can face federal prosecution with penalties like fine and up to 7 years in prison. So why does this matter? This law that happened under the Trump presidency is actually a step forward, because what it's doing is making sure abuse cases are taken seriously across the United States. I will say this can be reassuring to us as pet parents to know that there is some type of federal safety in regards to animal cruelty. If you're interested in reading more about this, CBS News has a really great article on it. I'll link it below. Next, we're going to talk about the 2018 Farm Bill. Now, this also included some protection for pets. This bill banned the slaughter and trade of dog and cat meat in the U.S. And while Trump was president, he was able to do this, which brought our laws in line with many other international standards in regards to pet cruelty. Now, in this, it also provided funding for domestic violence survivors who have pets. What it does is going to help them find safe housing. That way they can keep their pets with them. Listen to this closely. The Humane Society Legislative Fund, HSLF, they have a really great summary on this bill. I've linked it in the description if you want to learn more. Now, briefly, I want to talk about wildlife protection. This is where things get a little loosened, if you want to say. Trump's administration allowed trophy hunting to be decided on a case-by-case basis, which rolled back a previous ban that was in place prior to Trump going into office on importing trophies from certain endangered species. And when I'm saying trophies, I'm talking like elephants and lions. Now, for animal advocates, this was very controversial because what it could do is encourage trophy hunting and potentially harm endangered populations. The HSLF has a lot more on this issue, so if you want to give it a deeper dive, I'll link it in the description as well. Now, another change happened with hunting regulation. This time it's on public lands. With the first Trump administration, they lifted restrictions on certain hunting methods in the states of Alaska, which allow practices like hunting hibernating bears. Additionally, the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge was open up for potential oil drilling, which raised tons of concern for the wildlife over there. Under Trump's previous administration, these moves sparked debate among conservationists who worry about the impact on natural habitats. So you probably are asking, what does all this mean for us pet lovers? Let's break it down. The PACT Act, P-A-C-T, and parts of the Farm Bill that I discussed earlier, those two are going to be considered definite wins for protecting animal cruelty and just providing more resources for us pet owners, as well as those who own pets and may be survivors in domestic situations. But on the other hand, some of the changes to wildlife protections might be concerning for those of us who care about endangered animals and conservation. How we are going to support them is we're staying informed, and supporting animal welfare groups can help us advocate for the protections that we believe in. So I will say that during President Trump's first presidency, he did put a lot of things in place for us pet parents that protected us as far as the day-to-day pet parent. However, I will say on the other end, just looking at what the wildlife protection is looking like is completely different and a little bit more shaky or loosened ends that have to be looked at a little bit more closely. So I have a little more concern in regards to wildlife animals, more so than I have for domestic animals, because he did put the bills in place to protect those animals. In regards to the wildlife, it's a little bit more tricky because it's on a case-by-case basis. I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time, but I really do hope you found it helpful. I would love to hear your thoughts. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about these changes? Are you feeling more positive, or do you still have some concerns on regards to what pet parents' animal rights will be under Trump's presidency this second go around? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you, pet parents, for joining me, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye.